point about compounding. So the budget is moving through the transit agencies and it's going to the Metro Board in June. As far as building projects goes, the big projects Metro is building now, the Orange Line extension to Chatsworth is moving along. They seem to have gotten around the water and power problems with DWP, which loves to delay things. Their partners are working on everything from right-of-way to signal changes. So that project is moving ahead and appears to be on budget. In addition to the Orange Line, there's the Sepulveda Pass widening project, and that with the tearing down of the Sunset Bridge has got some significant issues and challenges, and they seem to be working with the community on redoing the Sepulveda Pass. It hasn't been touched in a huge amount of time, so that's an interesting project.
Art, is there any planning or anything related to the idea of a subway through the Sepulveda Pass in the long range plan? Is that in anything?
Well, actually, I'm glad you answered that question. We'll give you the check. Justin has done, and if you look at our Transit Coalition discussion board, the graphics are there. We took a look. There is a project in the 3010 plan, which is $1.1 billion to go on what's defined as the 405 corridor.
So it's in the plan.
It's in the plan.
Okay.
And Justin took a look at what would happen if you went over the circuitous route around the 405 with the train elevated. The problem is that to get a train over the Sepulveda Pass, if you just took a minimum grade of, say, 4% grade, if anybody's ever been to the Stratosphere in Vegas where that ride is on the top, well, Justin did an analysis, and you could take a look coming from the top of the Sepulveda Pass down. You'd have the structure about 180 feet high in the air. You can just imagine a 3-car light rail train with 900 people on it in an earthquake, and you're up there in this sky structure. And so we started talking to people in the valley to give them the idea that if you put a tunnel from Westwood to Van Nuys Boulevard, it's due north or due south, Westwood and Van Nuys Boulevard, and it can be like a 0.9% grade, and you can do the trip in about 6 minutes or so. And most people get it that any trip through the pass, Steve bikes through the pass in 20 minutes. I've never driven my car through the pass in 20 minutes.
Downhill.
20 minutes.
No, uphill.
Uphill.
But truthfully, we've started getting that point as the valley can get it to ask for subway, and I actually went to Anfernish's deputy and told her that the valley's going to be asking for a subway through the pass, and that the elevated idea of Justin also did this simulation. The drawings one of these days they'll get finished and put them on the website, showing what it's like to be 180 feet up in the air with a light rail train above the freeway. Now, just the freeway pass itself's out of width. I mean, just putting the one lane in is a $1 billion project. I would have to imagine, without getting the right engineering numbers, it would be $1.5 billion or so to put light rail through the Sepulveda Pass. So it might be more cost effective to drill a 6-mile tunnel when the subway towards the sea gets to Westwood.
That's
Anyways,
about how high the Golden Gate is over Golden Gate
water.
Bridge is.
so then we'd be dealing with suicide problems, Tom. Yeah?
Well, not if you keep them in the trains.
All right. Moving right along here, Sepulveda Pass is on. Now we get into the favorite project of all time, the Expo project. Next Tuesday, we're looking for volunteers to come to Dorsey High School. The fine folks of Dorsey High School, or actually from the Neighbors, United Community Neighbors, or whatever they're called, have put out last Friday a Hail Mary pass saying that there's a basketball finals next Tuesday. So we should have the hearing on, this is about the Dorsey High School crossing. The idea is the train will stop at the crossing, they're gonna put a station in it at the crossing, and the train will proceed out of the station at 15 miles an hour. And the opponents are still arguing that only 10 or 20 kids will get killed per train trip because it's leaving the station at 15 miles an hour. I don't know. But anyways, then they also argued last week that because the attorney couldn't make it, even though they announced this in April, the attorney couldn't make it, another good reason to postpone it. And there's a dance recital, so they are trying to delay, but I think between the school district and the Expo Authority, there's finally an effort to get this project closed up and moving forward.
The train
Completion date
has
for
left
phase
the
one?
station.
But one at a time. Trains
But
left the
it doesn't
station.
leave the track. If you don't step in front of it, you're probably all right.
Is it
The-
projected
if you're a
completion
high
date for
school
phase
grad.
one?